Hey guys, today we're gonna make cinnamon bread. So I've already measured all my ingredients: sugar and yeast. We want to make sure that the liquid is not too hot. I want it to be about 110 degrees. That way we don't kill the yeast. And the sugar is going to be there so that it'll feed off of there. So I'm going to measure out 2¼ teaspoons of yeast. I'm going to mix it with 1/4 cup of sugar. Now while I let my yeast activate, I'm going to mix together 4 tablespoons of butter and 3 cups of bread flour in my mixer. I want to make sure the butter is soft enough to clump up in here, and you do not want to melt it. Another way you can do this is you can actually use one of the pastry cutters, and you can cut the butter into the flour. Alright, so I just switched out our paddle for our dough hook. Our yeast is starting to bubble up a little bit, so you know that it's active. And we are going to just swirl that around so we get everything from the bottom before we dump it in. And also, I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to make sure we get all that sugar from the bottom. So we're going to mix this on medium for about 2 to 3 minutes until it pulls away from the sides and it's fully mixed together. So it's pulled away from the sides, which is nice. I just want to make sure it's fully mixed before I turn the machine off. Alright, here we have our dough. It's got a little elasticity, tiny stickiness to it, but it's not anything bad. What we're going to do with this is let it proof for about 2 hours until it's about double in size. ball. I'm going to cover it and put it in a warm area to proof. Now, depending on the size loaf pan that you have, will depend on how many loaves you're going to get, and how big you want to roll your dough out to. Now, I'm going to cut this in half, and then we'll fill it and roll it up. So I'll make 2 loaves of bread. You want to grease your loaf pan. I already threw a little oil in here, spreading it around with a paper towel. You can also use the non-stick spray. We're going to take the cinnamon sugar and raisin mixture and sprinkle it right on top. You want to make sure that you leave these about a half an inch around the edges. We have it spread out. That's when we're going to start rolling our loaf. We want to pinch our ends together. And we're going to put the seam side down inside our loaf pan. We're going to do the same thing with this. Roll it up. Again, tuck in your sides. Pinch it all close. Seam side down, right inside the loaf pan. Now we're going to let this proof until they are double in size, and then we'll bake them all. "45 minutes later, this is what our bread looks like. We're going to let it cool before we cut into it, and we can see the swirl when we do that. Hey guys, so we're going to cut up the cinnamon bread so you can see what it looks like inside. This one is just cinnamon, and this one here is raisin. There you go.